The Victory Day Parade, which took place in Moscow, May 9th, included forces from China. The Chinese forces, the armed forces, joined the Russian armed forces, and they had a parade together, celebrating Victory Day for the end of the Second World War. This is an article dated July 4th. What does it mean? Source of full article. China warns Russia that state of war now exists with the United States. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia, MFA, is reporting today that Federation has been informed by the State Council of the People's Republic of China, PRC, that a de facto state of war now officially exists between that Asian nation, China that is, and the United States of America. According to this report, following the provisions and protocols of 8 of May 2015 Russia-Chinese Cyber Security Agreement, that states a signatory to this pact that anticipates the outbreak of hostilities is obliged to immediately inform the other, so that war preparations needed to protect critical infrastructure can be undertaken. The PRC has informed the Federation that these conditions do now exist. So the People's Republic of China informed Russia that those conditions exist, leading to this grave warning from the PRC, People's Republic of China. This report explains, has been the catastrophic loss of over $3.7 trillion in worth from Chinese stock markets over the past fortnight, 2 weeks, that has seen them plunge over 30% and has led to panic among financial investors and ordinary citizens alike. As to the cause of this devastating meltdown, this report continues, PRC experts have stated that quote-unquote evil market forces are going short to ruin the Chinese economy, and even suspecting Western-backed investment predators of lurking behind the turmoil, with U.S. banking giant Morgan Stanley among the names mentioned. Similarly, this report notes 5 professors from China's top university issued a widely disturbed public letter on July 2nd, 2 days ago, alleging sinister market forces were exploiting weaknesses in China's financial system for profit, comparing the situation to when President Obama's puppet master financier, George Soros, and others bet against East Asian currencies during the 1997-98 Asia financial crisis. To what precipitated this devastating Obama regime-led financial attack upon the People's Republic of China, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia experts in this report say, was detailed early last month by the Washington Post news service, who in part said, quote, hackers working for the Chinese state breached the computer system of the Office of Personnel Management in December, U.S. officials said Thursday, June 4th, and the agency will notify about 4 million current and former federal employees that their personnel data may have been compromised. The hack was the largest breach of federal employee data in recent years. It was the second major intrusion of the same agency by China in less than a year, and the second significant foreign breach into U.S. government networks in recent years, end quote. In one other article, the number of 4 million current and former federal employees of the U.S. government was about 18 current and former. So, but I guess this is a conservative number of 4 million. As to the wisdom of the Obama regime attacking the PRC's financial markets in retaliation for their alleged hacking of U.S. government servers, this report continues, it appears to be both juvenile and ill-timed, as China, with its holding of over nearly $4 trillion in foreign reserves, compared with the United States of $121 billion, and with China's citizens having a staggering $21 trillion saved, compared to the American counterparts who have only $614 billion saved, this more than prepared to retaliate. And making this situation even more fraught with danger, Ministry of Foreign Affairs experts in the report warn, in a further response to the Obama regime attacking them, two senior Chinese military leaders yesterday called on the People's Liberation Army to beef up its naval capacity and combat readiness amid a higher risk of warfare on the doorstep. In a 5,000-word article published yesterday in the People's Daily, the Communist paper's flagship newspaper, General Chai Ying-ting, commander of the People's Liberation Army Nanjing Military Area Command, and his political commissar, General Zhen Weiping, warned that the PLA should learn lessons from the war with Japan that ended 70 years ago. These Chinese generals further stated that there have been profound challenges from territorial disputes on our country's periphery, geopolitical competition among big powers, and ethnic and religious friction. Tensions in surrounding hotspots are also on the rise, and the risk of chaos and warfare on our doorstep has increased. We should be more vigilant and put combat preparedness at the front of our minds." End quote. To how the Obama regime is responding or preparing for war with China, however, this report notes, World War III is now the hot news with Pentagon brass, as the Wall Street Journal just reviewed The Ghost Fleet by Peter Singer and August Cole. Singer, one of the United States' preeminent futurists, is now walking the Pentagon halls with an ominous warning for America's military leaders. World War III with China is coming, he says. In fact, Singer warns, even America's advanced new F-35 fighter jets may be blown from the sky by their Chinese-made microchips, and Chinese hackers easily could worm their way into the military's secret intelligence service, and the Chinese army may one day occupy Hawaii. Speculation? No. The Wall Street Journal's Dion Neiselblum reminded readers that Chinese hackers have already got into White House computers, defense industry plans, and millions of secret U.S. government files. Also important to note, this report continues, China has just overtaken the United States as the world's largest economy, and as perhaps best written by the Vanity Fair news service, who also recently wrote, quote, "When the history of 2014 is written, it will take note of a large fact that has received little attention. 2014 was the last year in which the United States could claim to be the world's biggest economic power. China enters 2015 in the top position, where it will likely remain for a very long time, if not forever. In doing so, it returns to the position it held through most of human history." End quote. And as to who would win a war between the People's Republic of China and the US, this report concludes, the Market Watch news service, in their article yesterday titled 4th of July Fireworks, World War III with China Dead Ahead, summed it up by writing this. Quote, "When Rand released a report in 2000 describing the potential outcome of a Sino-American conflict over Taiwan, the United States won the war handily. 9 years later, the nonpartisan think tank revised its analysis, accounting for Beijing's updated Air Force, its focus on cyber warfare, and its ability to use ballistic missiles to take out American satellites. Rand's 2009 conclusion is this: The United States would ultimately lose an air war, and an overall conflict would be more difficult and costly than many had imagined. So I'll leave a link below for you for this. Something's going down, which is not going to be good, because the United States has also declared that it will not lose its first position in the world, in the hegemony of the world, as being the world leader. So what does that mean? That means that it will use tactics to bring others down lower than they are. And it's not just weapons that are used, it's also knowledge of modern technology, such as cyber programmers, cyber technology, the knowledge. And as we know, a lot of the universities, even in the United States, even the astrophysicists are basically Asian, and maybe you'll have a German or two. There's not that many Americans in those departments. So they're very, very skilled in their cyber warfare tactics, I'm sure. I'll leave a link below for you for this article. This is an article dated July 4th. What does it mean? Source of full article. China warns Russia that state of war now exists with the United States. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia, MFA, is reporting today that Federation has been informed by the State Council of the People's Republic of China, PRC, that a de facto state of war now forces, the armed forces, joined the Russian armed forces, and they had a parade together celebrating Victory Day for the end of the Second World War. The Victory Day parade, which took place in Moscow May 9th, included forces from China. The Chinese officially exist between that Asian nation, China that is, and the United States of America. According to this report, following the provisions and protocols of 8 of May 2015 Russia-Chinese cyber